Allied Services High School Hoops presented by Bathfitter.
Welcome inside Scranton High School. We're in the Electric City, Lackawanna County. Tonight, it's a PIAA 3A quarterfinal matchup between two District 2 teams as Lake Lehman gets set to battle Dunmore. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob I, joined courtside. He's reffed, he's played, he's coached, Mr. Billy Jones. And Billy, let's talk about how Lake Lehman got here. A miracle shot the other night against Columbia. As we take a look at the video, boy, it's the farthest they've ever gone, and what a shot to make it on.
A miracle shot by probably the person on the floor would be least likely to take it. Molly Jenkins with only 1 3 on the year coming in, drains the bomb at Martz Hall. Big stage, big play, sends Lake Lehman into the state quarterfinals here tonight.
And what it does, Billy, is they've won 20 of their last 21 games. They're playing really good basketball. One of the reasons why is our Toyota Spotlight player, Haley Klein.
Haley Klein, 6'1", a big physical presence inside. She loves contact. She embraces physicality. However, she can score inside, but don't be fooled. She can step out and drain the three.
Who else can shoot the three? How about the North Carolina recruit, Sierra Toomey? She's back. She's 100% healthy, and Dunmore's playing their best basketball of the season.
Yeah, Sierra Toomey, one of the top recruits in the country. A presence inside both on the offensive end and physical or on the defensive end, but what makes her so special is she has the skill set of a guard. She can handle like a point guard and step out, stretch the defense, and drain the three.
Let's take a look at our keys to the game. We talked to both coaches. They had a day to prepare for this game, and it's brought to you by Dempsey Fashionable Laundry.
First, the keys for Lake Lehman, Coach Chuck Levin. They got to figure out a way to defend Sierra Toomey. That first matchup back in January where Lehman won in overtime. Toomey only played about 3 minutes in the first half. She's going to play a much bigger role tonight. On the offensive end, the Black Knights, they want to be efficient. In other words, they want to get their best players shots in areas of the floor where they're most effective. For the Dunmore Lady Bucks, they want to value the basketball. In that first meeting where they lost in overtime by 11, had 20-plus turnovers. They cannot afford to do that tonight. On the defensive end, the Lady Bucks, they want to hold the Black Knights one and done on the offensive glass. If they can check, box out, do their job, hold them to one shot and done, it could be a win tonight for Dunmore.
Well, we know one thing. There will be a District 2 3A girls team in the state semifinals. Will it be Lake Lehman or Dunmore? The opening tip is next.
Allied Services High School Hoops presented by Bathfitter.
We are back. Lake Lehman getting ready to get their 26th win maybe of the season. Let's take a look at their starting lineups brought to you by Bathfitter. Brenna Hunt, Leah Keith, Ella Wilson, Molly Jenkins, and Haley Klein will round out your starters for Charlie Levan's Lake Lehman Black Knights. For the Dunmore Bucks, trying to pick up their 25th win, Sophia Toludo, Amanda Dempsey, Katie Lewis, Tristan Canavan, and Sierra Toomey under the direction of first-year head coach Carrie Toomey. Capacity crowd here at Scranton High School. They're your officials out of District 2, Kevin Grassi, Cam Ruther, Gary Weber. And this quarterfinal PIAA game is underway. Dunmore in the white uniforms with the blue trim.
And as you would expect, Lake Lehman starting out 2-3 zone. They will play zone exclusively. They'll stretch it a little bit. They'll trap out of it. But they are predominantly a zone team.
Black Knights in the black uniforms with the gold trim. They're working around to the corner. Toomey in the middle, trying to post up. They get it to Toomey. She makes a move. She gets her first 2 of the game.
Great patient possession by the Lady Bucks with a 4-out 1-in look. Dunmore showing some pressure here. Little zone press, 2-2-1.
Lake Lehman had problems the other night against Columbia, 24 turnovers. A lot of that off the press, Billy.
Yeah, they're very prone to turning the ball over, and they basically tried to give the game away. Late in the fourth quarter, they're able to hold on with that desperation 3 by Molly Jenkins.
Black Knights furthest they've ever gone in the state playoffs. In decline, 6-1, but she's got Toomey on her tonight. There's Jenkins, who had a game-winning shot the other night. Her first shot is off.
Lady Bucks started off their zone as well.
This is Toludo. Little floater. Can't get it to go.
And she's got a terrific mid-range game. You crowd her off the three-point line, she can make that little floater.
Lehman running, but Hunt couldn't make the easy layup. So here is Sierra Toomey.
Not often you see a 6'4" girl initiate an offense in high school basketball.
Over to Lewis. Toledo will shoot out there if they let her. Again, Lake Lehman beat Dunmore into January, but Toledo was coming off an injury, and as was Toomey. So they're at full strength tonight.
Dunmore looking to get the ball in the short corner with a dive from the high post.
Klein pulls the rebound down, but we have an injured Black Knight right in front of the bench.
And that's got to be Coach Charlie Levan's worst nightmare. Lake Lehman, not a very deep team. At most, they will play 6 and go to 1 girl off the bench.
I can't see a number. Looks like number 15, Leah Keefe, is down.
If that's her, she is the Wyoming Valley Conference Division II Player of the Year.
I think she was coming out on the one shot on Toomey. I didn't really see what happened. But they're going to take a look at her. And as you mentioned, the Black Knights really only 6 deep. They only play 6 players.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they play 5, and they'll sub a 6-person very sparingly, maybe a minute here, a minute there, a quarter. And that's a big reason why they play 2-3 zone, is because they do not have a lot of depth. They want to save girls' legs, protect them for potentially getting into foul trouble.
Well, Lake Lehman beat Columbia the other night. We talked about that, 50-48. They beat Penn Argyl 62-35, and that was in the first round of states. Mid-Valley they crushed in the 3rd place consolation game in District 2 because they lost to Holy Redeemer. How many times did they play Holy Redeemer this year, Billy? I lost on my one or 2 hands.
They played each other 5 times.
5 times. It's a fiver.
They split in league play, in Division II play, and then Lake Lehman won the Division II playoff to win the division, and then they met again in the Wyoming Valley Conference tournament. Lake Lehman got them again, and then, of course, as you mentioned, in the District 2 semifinals, Holy Redeemer sent the Lady Knights to the 3rd place game.
Yeah, this is a tough thing when we're only, a minute 55 into the game, or 2:55, I should say. And then, this happens. This is really tough on a team. Of course, the last time these two teams met was the end of January. Lake Lehman won in overtime. 51-40. But again, Dunmore wasn't at full strength. But you know what? That set Lake Lehman on the path. That was part of their 20 out of 21 that they've won.
Yeah, that win really gave them some momentum. For Dunmore, like we mentioned in the open, Sierra Toomey, she played sparingly. I don't even know if she played 3 minutes, and that was in the first half. Sophia Toledo was coming off an injury, and they were not at 100%. I think Dunmore is a very different basketball team right now in March than what they were in late January.
Like Lehman last year, 21-5, lost to Jim Thorpe in the 2nd round of states, and we had the Dunmore-Jim Thorpe game a year ago. That was without Toomey and that as well.
And that game, Mariah Murray almost single-handedly carried the Lady Bucks to the state semifinals. Of course, now she's playing at Penn State. Originally, she was going to go to Drexel.
Yeah.
She left Drexel, and now she's in State College.
See, you see the trainers checking out senior Leah Keefe, lower leg injury. We won't speculate, but she has been down at least 3 minutes now. Has really held things up right here. So let's take a look at the way Lake Lehman got here through the season, and what a great year they've had, 25-5, and you mentioned all those games against Holy Redeemer, but they've had some big wins in there, including Hazleton down the stretch, and in the beginning of the year, they actually, part of their losses, they lost to Prep. Who else did they lose to?
They lost to Notre Dame Green Pond, who's a powerhouse down in the Lehigh Valley, and like we mentioned, they played Holy Redeemer 5 times. Redeemer, an excellent program coached by John Jaworski. They're always well prepared, and Coach Jaworski, scouted them well the first 4 times that they played, and the Lady Royals pulled off the upset there in the district semis. Kind of spoiled Lehman's parade. I think Lehman, one of their top goals on the season was to get to the arena in the district final. But as you mentioned, they rebounded nicely, won that 3rd place game convincingly over Mid-Valley. And then they beat Penn Argyl, who was the District 11 champ, in their backyard. That game was played in Bethlehem, and beat them convincingly.
We will tell you that the winner of tonight's game will play Mount Carmel or Lancaster Catholic on Monday in the state semifinals. That game is going on right now, and as we get the scores throughout that, it's going on in Hamburg, by the way, down by Cabela's, if you don't know where Hamburg is. And there you see A nice round of applause for Leah Keefe, a 5'9" senior who's limping off, so she will not come back, you assume.
She's struggling to put any weight on that right foot. She's headed next year to continue her basketball career at Misericordia University.
So that will bring in the freshman, Delcia Biscotto, for the rest of the game pretty much. So how does that impact now? Because you lose a 5'9" player, you go to a 5'6" freshman.
And she's their top sub off the bench, but like I said, they sub her. She'll maybe sub a minute here, a minute there and a half. She really does not play much. We'll see if she steps up, next man up, or next woman up in this case. And we have a backcourt violation here.
And this really could take, Lake Lehman psychologically too.
Yeah.
You lose a player, you lose a senior. Now they have to regroup.
Yeah, Leah Keefe is a team leader, and not only from a psychological standpoint, but also a chemistry standpoint.
Yep. Well, let's see how the Black Knights react to losing Leah Keefe. We hope she's okay. Our best wishes to her. So Dunmore has the ball to turnover. Good hands by Haley Klein, a soccer player, not going to play basketball next year. But a very good inside presence at 6'1".
Dunmore sticking with that zone as well. Black Knights going 4-out-1 in here, looking for Klein inside.
Trying to force it inside. Toledo gets a hand to it. The sophomore has it. She'll wait for Toomey to come down.
Great ball movement by the Lady Bucks.
Off the mark from Amanda Dempsey, and a rebound by Lake Lehman. So some nerves to get out here. 3 minutes into this first quarter. Just a 2-0 score, Dunmore. That was Sierra Toomey, which is almost 10 minutes on the clock for us.
Yeah.
Ago.
Real time, yeah, 10 minutes.
In the Klein, using her body, faked and blocked by Toomey. There's the difference between game 1 and game 2 against these two teams.
Toomey, a shot blocker, and what there's no statistic for is how many shots does she alter. There's no stat for that. I would say there's a good amount.
They get it back. Klein is Ella Wilson, a sophomore. We'll talk about her momentarily. She's their leading scorer, number 14. She's at the top of the key. Still working that zone is Dunmore. Let's see what Lehman can do with this. Trying to force it into Daly.
Good job by Klein there not to walk. She kept her established pivot foot on the floor.
Lake Lehman did not play a clean game the other night. Let's see if they can clean things up here tonight. Now can't get a shot. Long possession now by the Black Knights that are averaging 48.7 points per game on the season. They have 88 three-pointers on the year. And a block out from Dunmore. And here come the Bucks. They average 53.5, but they've upped that since Sierra's been back by a couple points.
And one of Carrie Toomey's big concerns was Lake Lehman on the offensive glass. They're doing a good job blocking out as they find Canavan for the easy two.
Yeah, Canavan, the junior, her first two, just a 4-0 lead.
And Lady Bucks, little 2-2-1 press here, trying to slow down Lake Lehman. We'll see if they'll trap sidelines.
Klein could shoot out there. Toomey came out on her. Wilson looking for her first shot. Tough defense by the Lady Bucks. In the Jenkins. Can't get that bucket to go.
Nice high-low action there. Jenkins just couldn't finish, but right mentality on the offensive end.
Toledo forces it a little bit. Lewis pulled that one out. Back to Toledo, little 8-foot jumper, no good.
Great
but a big board.
Toomey.
Big board by Canavan, keeping the possession alive. Step out, little bank shot from Sierra Toomey. Does Coach Levan wait for the media timeout, or does he call timeout? Let's see what happens.
Well, it's only a 6-point game. I wouldn't get too rattled. They had a quality possession last time against the zone, a little high-low look. Let's see if they go back inside again.
Trying to look for Daly, and she's collapsed on her. Blocked by Toomey again. Lake Lehman scoreless so far in the first quarter. Toledo running the court. That's blocked. Good defense. We have our first break. We'll have a timeout on the floor. First foul. 2:20 left. 6-0 Dunmore as we head to the break here at Scranton High School.
Your marquee matchup brought to you by Allied Services. 2 sophomores, Ella Wilson for the Lake Lehman Black Knights, their top scorer and top 3-point shooter. Fun fact, she was first team All-State in volleyball this past season. And Sophia Toledo, Dunmore's leading scorer, can shoot the ball, can also hit that little floater. Remember, Bob, we had them last year in Sophia Toledo's come-out game at Riverside. She knocked down all those threes and gave Jack Mikailo's Lady Vikes a loss on their home floor.
We've had quite a run with the Dunmore Lady Bucks under Ben O'Brien, who's in the crowd tonight, now University of Scranton Lady Royals coach. We'll check out him later, but he's coming to watch his old team.
Yes, Landmark Conference Coach of the Year, undefeated regular season, and won the postseason conference tournament.
6-0 to score here, Bucks. What do you do with the Black Knights? You got to get points. How do you do it?
They had the right mentality looking inside a little high-low, and we talked about Wilson in the marquee matchup. Their top 3-point shooter, that'll help, cutting the deficit in half.
Good screen by Daly, freeing up her. That's a huge shot for Lake Lehman. It cuts it right in half as they work it low to the Lady Bucks. That's Canavan for another 2 for her.
And Canavan coming off a great game in the last round against MOTEP Charter. 12 points at that game down in Bethlehem.
Black Knights doing a good job, not turning the bar over. The freshman off the mark, and we'll have a jump ball as Dempsey ties it up with Klein. It will remain Black Knights ball underneath the basket.
Lady Bucks going man-to-man here, out of bounds under. They started the game zone.
Jenkins saves it right into the hands of a Lady Buck. Into the quarter, Dempsey. Great hands. Here comes Hunt. And Lake Lehman only down 3.
Brenna Hunt, kind of an unsung hero for the Black Knights. She does a little bit of everything and does it well. When I spoke with Coach John Jaworski from Holy Redeemer, he said that she was kind of like a Swiss Army knife. Does a lot of things.
Toledo downtown. Can't get it to go. But the Lady Bucks, another offensive board for Dunmore. And that's not even Toomey. That's the rest of the girls working.
Great find by Toledo. Canavan kind of a little sneaky there. In the back end of the zone, they found her a couple times for easy baskets.
CS6 and Coach Levan has seen enough. He'll call a timeout. 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Coach Levan, 11th season, was an assistant coach for a while at GAR as well. Here we go.
And great find by Toledo here. Gets into the gap of the zone, and Canavan a little bit crafty. She's, kind of hiding out there on the baseline, behind the back end of the zone. She's gotten some great looks. 6 early points for Tristan Canavan.
Dempsey timeout, and we'll tell you that Lancaster Catholic at the end of 1 is leading Mount Carmel 12-6. In another game, 2A quarterfinal involving a District 2 team, Montrose leads Faith Christian Academy 18-7. How about the run for the Lady Meteors?
And they were without one of their better players, Coach Todd Smith's daughter, Aspen. I believe it was a knee injury, tore her ACL. She's been out for like the last couple of weeks. Yep. So kind of an unexpected run for the Lady Meteors. Todd Smith, the former boys coach at Montrose, coming over to coach the ladies. Very deserving for him. He's paid his due. It's great to see them make a nice, deep state playoff run.
Abington Heights boys also playing tonight, as well as I think Mountain View girls in the single A. Toomey, right into the hands of the North Carolina recruit. Oh, great skip pass, and can't get it to go, but the garbage by Toomey. She has 6. Canavan has 6.
Toomey led the break and got the offensive rebound on the miss, laid it back in.
Half-court shot off the mark, and it's the Lady Bucks with a 7-point lead here in the 3A state quarterfinal matchup.
Today's game is sponsored by Mary Claire Lawless Hayes, who is seeking election as District Judge of Dunmore, North Scranton, and Greenridge. Mary Claire spent over a decade in the Lackawanna County District Attorney's Office, where she served as Chief Deputy District Attorney and head of the Special Victims Unit. As a Dunmore native, Mary Claire is a proud supporter of the Lady Bucks in their pursuit of a state championship.
Mr. Billy Jones, Bob Ide here at Scranton High School. full capacity crowd here. Upstairs is open at the high school, and a lot of green on this St. Patrick's Day. Everyone left Buddy Clarkson, Dunmore, to come over here, watch the game.
Packed house. What an atmosphere. Loud and hot.
Yes. Definitely a Dunmore crowd. There are a bunch of Lake Lehman people here, the students as well. Toledo, first, second shot from outside. She can't get it to go. Toomey goes down. Here come the Black Knights, trailing by 7 here at the beginning of the second quarter.
Probably the message in the Lake Lehman huddle in between quarters was everything could have possibly gone wrong for you girls, and you're still only down 7.
Two-shot foul. It's only the second foul of the game so far.
Wilson with the drive there, creating the contact, and she's a girl you want at the free throw line, Bob. 81% on the year. Just a sophomore.
So the handler, Hennings, and Rosenberg. Free throw is good by Wilson. She had scored 28 points against Southern Columbia and 20 in that game against Dunmore, her high on the season. And she'll need a good game tonight as well. First sub of the game for the Lady Bucks is Jacqueline Brown, 5'8" freshman.
Brown came up with 7 huge points in that district final against Holy Redeemer down at the arena. Played a lot when Sierra Toomey was out at injury. She's really grown and seasoned as a freshman, no longer playing like a freshman. She'll give Coach Carrie Toomey some great minutes here. Toomey now out on the perimeter, playing the 3 with Canavan and Brown inside.
Oh. Downtown Katie Lewis, 48 threes on the season.
And she's headed to King's College next year to play basketball for the Lady Monarchs.
So a big 3 there, ups the lead.
Dunmore sticking with that man-to-man. They started zone. Now they're matching up.
Dunmore's led from just about the opening tip. Leah Keefe went out, a senior for Lake Lehman, with an apparent injury to her leg. Freshman down the lane loses the ball.
And that's what Jacqueline Brown will do. She's kind of a high-energy player. She'll dive on the floor, pick up a loose ball, get a big rebound.
Tried to force it to the other side to Toomey, an ill-advised pass, but it will remain Lady Bucks.
Great find by Toomey. Katie Lewis always shot ready. The sweet stroke.
So an 8-point lead, largest of the night for the Lady Bucks. How about 2? How about it? No good. Toomey, easy board.
And that's not the Toomey that the Black Knights saw on January 28th down at Lake Lehman. She's back.
Coach Kahneman, another timeout. 10-point lead, 6:19 left here in the second quarter here. There you see Carrie Toomey. She took over for Ben O'Brien as we look at this rebound from Carrie Toomey, Sierra. Carrie, of course, played at Dunmore. She scored over 1,600 points, grabbed 1,020 rebounds, and 1,600 points at Franklin and Marshall, then went to play professionally in England. Been coaching here for many years, and then finally got the opportunity, and now she's the head coach.
Yeah, great transition. I think one of the keys, too, is Ben O'Brien's assistant from last year, Mike O'Malley, staying on the staff. I think that helped, make that transition pretty seamless. Carrie Toomey, everybody talks about Sierra and her older sister, Victoria. Carrie in the Franklin and Marshall Hall of Fame. 4-year starter, averaged double figures all 4 years as a diplomat.
Dunmore now in the man-to-man. Lake Lehman down 10 after the timeout for Coach Levan. Let's see what he drew up. Think you got to get it to Wilson. Daly scoreless so far. Drive cut off by Toomey. That is the difference of a 6'4" girl in there. Daly gonna pop out. Off the mark from her shot. She can shoot the 3. She has 17 on the year. Does the senior Klein, but that was off the mark. And here come the Lady Bucks. Lake Lehman playing great defense, giving up only 32 points a game. Gonna be a tough test tonight against Dunmore. Runner in the lane is up, and fouled is Lewis.
Nice little floater there by Lewis. 2-shot foul setting in her line. The contact was after the shot. However, the player is considered to be in the act of shooting until the shooter's feet. come back to the floor. So that's why it's a 2-shot foul.
You can tell someone took the referee test here at the table. So going to the line is Lewis for 2. She hits the first. Katie shooting 68% on the year. She had 26 against Riverside this year, 7 threes, so she can shoot it from behind the arc. And can't get the second one to go. Lehman needs a bucket.
Yeah, they need a quality possession here. Get this under 10. I think if you're the Black Knights, if you're going to the locker room at halftime, if you can keep it under 10, you're going to feel pretty good about yourselves with the conference part of the year going down to injury and not returning.
Good take by Wilson, looking for the foul. Did he get it? Lehman fans can't believe it.
There's the drive. Looks like Toomey went straight up. She did kind of hit down a little bit. I think you could make an argument either way.
Carrie Toomey calls a 30-second timeout. It's granted by Kevin Grassi.
Yeah, Katie Lewis had possession. Can't grant a timeout if there's no possession, but Lewis giving up her body on the loose floor, calling the timeout, and it'll be Lady Bucks ball. Dempsey's Fashionable Laundry is a proud supporter of the Dunmore Bucks basketball program, a family business for over 60 years located on North Blakely Street in Dunmore, offering the lowest dry cleaning prices in the area. Good luck to the Bucks and the Lady Bucks.
Thank you to all the sponsors tonight. Quick turnaround for these teams. Again, because of the snowstorm, many of the Northeast teams up here, District 2, canceled Tuesday. Other teams throughout the state played. So they played Wednesday, Thursday off, and good thing they're familiar with one another.
Exactly, because they only have 1 day to practice to get ready.
Yeah. Toomey, she can't hit it from outside, and it will go over to Lake Lehman.
If you're Dunmore, the threes you want to take are threes like that. Inside-out threes. Why inside-out threes? Because your shooters are already squared up to the ball and shot ready if it's coming from the interior.
So Piscotti, the freshman, will pull the ball down. See if they get Wilson working in. Klein still scoreless. Good cut by Klein. She's tripped, no call. I don't know if she's tripped or just fell. Freshman feeling it.
They needed that one. They were stuck on 7 for a while. All of a sudden, an 8-point game.
That's her second three-pointer of the year, and it's a big one. Down 8 now, Lake Lehman.
They're looking possibly to get Canavan the ball into the short corner with a high post dive from Jackie Brown.
Toledo into the lane. She's can't feel it, but Toomey's owning the glass on the offensive side. She has 10.
And highly effective on the offensive glass tonight.
Let's see if Lake Lehman now can avoid another scoring drought. Wilson a little bit taller. That's one thing with Lake Lehman. They're lengthy, but with Keefe out, Piscotti's only 5'6".
They had Jenkins inside, didn't give her the ball.
Wilson off the mark. I don't mind the shot because she can shoot the threes. And a timeout on the floor. Dunmore's up their lead to 10 here in the PIAA 3A quarterfinals. Dr. Todd Smile came in the Lake Lehman student section here on St. Patrick's Day, wearing the green. Rooting their team on under Coach Levan. Farthest a Black Knights team has ever gone in girls basketball here into the state quarterfinals. In the other quarterfinal, Billy, I'm glad you asked. Lancaster Catholic is beating Mount Carmel 23-9.
Yeah, Lancaster Catholic, a power out of District 3, which is obviously Lancaster, Harrisburg, and York. Let's see if Mount Carmel maybe can put together a rally in the second half.
Again, Dunmore lost to Mount Carmel without Toomey in the game.
And that was very early in the season. That was well before Christmas. Dunmore was a jump shooting team then. I believe they only shot 1 or 2 free throws in the game.
Good movement inside. Canavan leading. She puts an 8. She has 8. Toomey has 10. Up to a 12-point lead now for the Lady Bucks. 2:49 and counting here to the half. And as Billy said, want to get it down inside double digits. Blocked by Toomey. Klein took too long to shoot that.
You can't simulate Toomey's length in practice.
No. Unless you get one of the boys to come out, right, or something.
Or have one of your players maybe with brooms.
Yeah. Well, Lewis is feeling it. That's her second 3 of this quarter. She has 7 in the quarter alone.
And Lewis is always shot ready. Ball goes inside. She's prepared for it to get kicked out. I think when the alarm goes off in the morning, she gets out of bed, she's shot ready.
Brown, active hands. Wilson can't get it to go. Jenkins pulls it in. Big 3 from Hunt. That's her 9th of the season.
Let's see if the Lady Bucks go back inside. They've really had success finding both Canavan and Toomey inside. Brown looking to screen the top part of the zone.
Back out, swinging around. Someone's feeling it out there. How about another one for Lewis?
She is on fire. Little heat check there, and she delivered.
You might think it's a Sierra Toomey team and Sophia Toledo. It is not. It is a well-balanced team.
Yeah, they have a well-balanced scoring attack. Any of these 5 starters are, capable of putting together double figures in a game.
Yeah, I mentioned Lewis. Remember in that Riverside, 7 threes. She has 3 already tonight. Foul. Only our 4th foul of the half.
And then the Lady Bucks, previous win against Imhotep Charter in the round of 16, they had 3 players in double figures. Toledo, Canavan, and Toomey.
So Toledo took a break. Brown, the freshman, comes out, and they've actually upped their lead to 12 with Toledo on the bench.
And there's a look at Chari Levan, his 14th season, coaching the Black Knights.
Toomey pulls it down, run the floor. Oh,
what a find.
What a good find. And what a bucket by Canavan.
And that's what makes Sierra Toomey really, really special. She can get the rebound and just lead the break herself and find people ahead in transition.
This one is starting to get away from Lake Lehman. Another timeout by Coach Levan. That's already his 3rd. You get 5. He's just playing the momentum.
And fortunately for him, he does have the media timeouts in the second half, so it's 2 additional.
So it's a Dempsey Fashionable Laundry timeout for Carrie Toomey's team. And coming up in the Toyota halftime report, we'll have a special interview with our friends from Allied Services. I had a chance to have a sit-down talk with Carrie Toomey and Sierra Toomey last week. Of course, we were supposed to broadcast the Bloomsburg game last week. Got to move to Saturday. We couldn't do that, so we worked this out. We're glad we could for our final game of the year on MyTV High School Hoops. So we'll bring that to you, and then Billy and I will break down the first half here, dominated by the Dunmore Bucks.
Lake Lehman, if they can prevent Dunmore from scoring here to close out the half, maybe get a basket or 2, they can feel good about themselves. Plenty of hoops to be played. We'll see what they have here in the final minute of the second quarter.
At the half, Montrose leads Faith Christian Academy 22-10. So there, it looks like they may be headed to the state semifinals.
I believe the last time Montrose had a deep run was when Dallas Ely was their go-to player up in Susquehanna County for the Lady Meteors.
Under a minute here. Try to get a give a go. Klein scoreless in this half. Fighting for it. There's Klein working against Toomey. Has it taken away by Canavan.
That was a good possession there by Lehman. They got a quality post touch, just couldn't convert.
So they bring it down. Dunmore going to play for the last shot. Working it around into Toomey.
Talk about unselfish basketball. Making the extra pass.
It's an all Dunmore crowd. It's an all Lady Bucks game. In the state quarterfinal matchup, Dunmore leads Lake Lehman 32-13.
Thanks for sticking with us. It's halftime on MyTV WQMY. Amanda Kuhl here, joined by Melissa Kelleher, the Assistant Vice President of Home Health at Allied Services. Melissa, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Melissa, can you talk to me more about what you do with home health here at Allied?
So basically I manage a team of skilled nurses, so RNs and LPNs, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, and we also have certified home health aides. So we go into the patient's home to care for them, usually when they're discharged from a hospital or a skilled nursing facility. Sometimes when they're home and they see their doctor and they have a new diagnosis or something's not going well for them, and they'll order our services. So we go out there and we help them manage their own health care at home.
Tell me about the difference between home health and in-home. I know some people sometimes confuse that.
Yes, for home health, we're the medical side of care. So we're providing the professionals such as the nurses, the therapists into the home. On the in-home side, it's the non-medical side. So that's the aides that are coming in to provide bathing, housekeeping, they do shopping for their clients. So we're the more medical side of things when you need wound care or need rehabilitation at home.
I know Allied is a really special place for employees to work. What makes it so special for you to work here?
The team I work with. I work with a wonderful team that has so many years here. The longevity is something I've never seen in anywhere I've worked. We have clinicians that work with me that have been here with Allied for 40 years. So I always say that says something. If you're going to come and work 40 years with a company, you can tell that it's a good company to work for. And I just have an awesome team that I work with every day, and to see the incredible work that they do for our patients, keeping them home where they want to be, it's a great place to be.
Absolutely. For people watching at home and that are interested, are there any opportunities for them to come work at this amazing company?
Sure. We're always looking for some great professionals to join our team, such as RNs, LPNs, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists.
What is it about Allied that is the one thing that is the most rewarding for you when you go home at night?
Just seeing our patients progress, seeing them. The unique thing about home health is we admit the patients and then we see them throughout. We stay with their care, and to see the way they come to us and then the way we're able to discharge them at the end, it's just so rewarding to follow them through their journey.
Melissa, thank you so much. We'll be right back with highlights from tonight's game as well as the second half coming up.
We're back at Scranton High School. Dunmore with a 19-point lead in this PIAA 3A quarterfinal matchup. Senior Sierra Toomey leads the way for the Lady Bucks with 12 points. Well, recently, I had a sit-down interview with Carrie Toomey, the mom, Sierra Toomey, the player. The senior, probably one of the best ever girls basketball players that will ever come out of District 2 and really the 570 area code. The first thing I asked Sierra, as she went through a pandemic, she went through the injury, what was the greatest memory she's ever had as a Dunmore Lady Buck?
I would say two games that I like that really do stand out were my freshman year against Riverside at home, playing in front of a sold-out crowd, such a hugely anticipated game. Pandemic-wise, our home game against Prep, it was just something that you never would really expect to experience. I mean, you're sitting on the bench and your teammate's like 5 feet away from you. You're out on the court with masks on. You're looking into the crowd and it's a bunch of cardboard cutouts. So I don't really think any of us ever expected to play in that sort of situation.
Of course, you were recruited by almost everybody in the country, Connecticut, Notre Dame, and you settled down at the University of North Carolina. But when did you know that that was something that you wanted to go through?
I would say after my first year of high school. Before that, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I mean, golf was just as, like, there was a possibility of me playing golf in college just as much as basketball after that. But we came off that season, and then I played AAU, and it was just such a great season. I mean, you look at that starting lineup was me, Mo, Kylie, Rachel, and Cecilia. So we had a lot of success, and we got a lot of looks, even though it was through a video lens because there was no coaches there. But I feel like when the recruiting process started after that AAU season, I was like, wow, this could be really cool. And then I got looks throughout high school season, and then like the season she was talking about, that was when coaches were suddenly on the sidelines of games and you were like actually able to see who was watching. So when I was looking around and I was kind of seeing the coaches that I had talked to on the phone and been like, wow, they're here for me, I feel like that was when the realization came.
She's going to go down as one of the best ever in our area. And I mean, Kelly Mazzanti, Becky Burke, Amber Jacobs. I mean, we can name them. Yourself, Tara Machaco, who played here. That's incredible, isn't it, Carrie? I mean,
It really is.
Carrie,
Yeah, it really is. I mean, when I think about it, I do get very overwhelmed. I'm so proud of her. She's so humble too. You know, we try to instill that in both of our daughters, obviously, but just when I see like all the kids waiting for her to get her autograph and all the people who want to take pictures with her, sometimes I'm like, that's my daughter, you know, like. One of the things that she really allowed me to do was talk to a lot of the coaches that I admired for many years, and now they're in my phone, which is pretty cool. I can't call all of them anymore, but.
Connecticut, you're calling Gino?
No.
I can try.
I can try. I might answer.
And what is that? That's probably never a goal. I never thought as a freshman or even a little kid that you're going to go down as the greatest ever in our area in high school, and your career is still going. Like, have you have time to reflect on that at all, or, you know, right now you're just a normal kid?
Yeah, I mean, it hits you every once in a while. Like she said, like when you come out of the locker room and there's like people waiting for pictures, you're like, to me that's just like a picture with me. But then you think about it and like you see one posted on Instagram and they just are so happy to kind of like meet you for like such a short amount of time. And that's, I feel like, when it hits, and like autographs and things like that. And like she said, like when you're meeting your mentors, I mean, we've always watched college basketball, so some of the times I'm talking about how like I talk to this person and everyone's kind of like, I don't know who that is, but in reality, like I've looked up to them my whole life and I've watched them on TV, and now I get to talk to them about literally anything. I mean, those calls, you get to know the person. So I feel like that was one thing that like kind of hit when I would talk to a coach like Gino Auriemma or Brenda Fries that I've watched for so long, and just kind of get to know them and even meet them. We got the opportunity to meet both of them on visit, so that was really cool too.
Back inside the Electric City, Scranton High School, the location for this 3A quarterfinal matchup. It's been all the Dunmore Ladybucks 32-13, your halftime score. Bob Ide and Mr. Billy Jones back for you. We're topside tonight, looking down over Scranton High School, and it's a big lead for Dunmore. Lake Lehman lost Leah Keefe, to a leg injury early in that first quarter. They have not been able to find any offense. Part of the reason is the Dunmore defense. That's where the score is right now. What's your initial impression on the first half?
First half, I think Lake Lehman had zero answer for Dunmore on the interior, whether it be Sierra Toomey, Tristan Canavan. I think Dunmore, you want to start the third quarter, continue to pound inside. I know Lewis hit those threes, but they really have no answer for Toomey and Canavan inside. Feed the big girls inside. You know, if they make adjustments, then you can go inside out. But I think you got to play through Toomey and Canavan to start the half.
According to the NAPA Sports Nation, Canavan and Toomey 11 for 11 from inside the arc, where Toomey's 0 for 2 from the outside. I think Sophia Toledo's 0 for 2 as well from downtown. One person who's not has an 0 for is Lewis. She has 3 threes in that second quarter alone.
Yeah, when the ball went inside and got spit out, Lewis was shot ready, knocked down some threes in rhythm. She gave them the spark on the perimeter, but again, I think you got to play inside out. They have no answer for Toomey, Canavan, or even Jacqueline Brown for that matter, who came off the bench in the first half.
Let's take some highlights from the first half. As you'd expect, probably dominated by the Dunmore Bucks, and Toomey leading the way.
And there's Wilson, our Toyota marquee matchup player, draining the three, leading the Black Knights in threes. Katie Lewis catching it, shot ready, knocks down the tray. And then Piscotti, who came off the bench to replace Keefe when she went down, drains the three.
How about Dunmore? Just 3 scorers in that first half. Lewis 10, Toomey 12, Canavan 10. That's all that scored.
Yeah.
Toledo's scoreless.
If you said Toledo was scoreless at the half, you'd be like, oh, Dunmore might be in trouble. They're down, but they have so many weapons, Bob. It's it's kind of like pick your poison if you're Lake Lehman.
Okay, picture of Sierra Toomey, and I don't want to keep harping on this. Is she one of the top 5 girls basketball players ever to come out of the area?
It's a no doubter. Just because like her skill set, she's 6'4", really somebody who we haven't seen as far as like the skill set that she has for her size. She can handle the ball like a point guard. She can lead the break in transition, find people in transition. She can step out and knock down the three. There really is not a negative to her game. You may argue like, Tara Machako, Amber Jacobs might be better players that came out of the
Becky
area.
Burke,
But Becky Burke, but Sierra Toomey, it's something we haven't seen. A girl that's 6'4" that can do the things that she can do inside and outside. She's a complete player.
But you say, well, she'd only score 20 points, whatever. But she has a team around her. She doesn't have to score 20-some points.
Exactly,
per game.
and that's the Dunmore philosophy too. Like it's not about the individual; it's about the team. They shared the ball. Like the interior passing in the first half from the Lady Bucks was a thing of beauty, and that's really the culture that was established by Ben O'Brien, and it's carried over into Carrie Toomey now in her first year. And there's a look at Coach O'Brien of the University of Scranton Lady Royals.
In the crowd. Let's not harper on Dunmore. How about Lake Lehman having a great season as well? Don't want to forget about them. Let's see if they can come back. They get possession, down 19. They have to chip away at this lead.
Lehman didn't win 25 games this year by accident. They can play. I'm sure they faced adversity this year. Let's see how they handle it.
It's just a spectacular year for them. To make it here, let's see if they can pull something out.
Great job by Canavan fronting the post there, getting the steal.
That Molly Jenkins shot the other night. I was there. I'm the one that got that video. Amazing. They were up 8. They let that slip away. Did Lake Lehman over Columbia, and right into the hands of someone who doesn't shoot a 3. So there's that. So here they are, and they're going to be tied up, and possession will stay with the Lady Bucks underneath the basket.
Lake Lehman staying with that zone. They're a zone team no matter what. They're down 19. They're going to stick with it. That's their philosophy. And there's Toledo, scoreless in the first half. She must have heard you, Bob. She knocked down the 3 to open up the scoring for the Lady Bucks here in the third period.
35-13.
And Dunmore started the game zone. They've got man-to-man and have not gone back to the zone at all. They're sticking with the man-to-man. It's working for them.
Well, Lake Lehman has only given up 50 points in one game this year. Dunmore's just 15 away from that. Toledo thought about it. She'll pull it back out after the block. Great defense. Pulling it is Hunt. And they'll let her go in for the bucket.
Yeah, that was a predictable pass. She shot the gap, got the easy layup.
When Dunmore's pulling down offensive boards, it's going to be tough for another team to beat you. And right into hands of Haley Klein, who's scoreless, 6'1" senior, averaging 12 points per game, number 11. He had 24 against Dallas, but the last time against Dunmore, she only had 6.
They got Toomey there with the push in the back. They were looking to go into Klein there. It'll be a Black Knight basketball along the baseline. See what they run here, maybe get an easy basket.
Toomey's first of the half for Dunmore. Just 4 fouls in that first half, Colin, by this District 2 crew tonight.
And they did a great job. They let the players play, didn't get involved, called what needed to be called. Yeah, Gary Weber, Kevin Grassi, Kim Ruther, 3 outstanding officials. Couldn't get a better crew for this game tonight in the state quarterfinal.
Ella Wilson, leading scorer, has it taken away by the leading scorer for the Dunmore Bucks, Toledo.
Toledo has great court vision.
Back outside. Lewis thought about it. Right through the 5-hole of Lewis. And that will be back court. She let it go, let some clock go down.
And that'll be Lehman ball underneath their own basket, because when she touched it, it was below the free throw line and free throw line extended area. So
just 4 seniors on the floor between the two teams, so the future is bright for both teams.
Absolutely. They have some offense returning. Lady Bucks, Toledo's probably their most publicized underclassmen.
Ella Wilson back, Hunt back next year, Jenkins back. plus a whole host of freshmen. You look at their roster, probably 7 freshmen on the team, and this is one of them. Biscotti, who was forced into a lot more playing time than she expected coming in because of the injury.
Yeah, she was only seeing a minute or two a game. Lake Lehman, as we talked about, not very deep. They'd go to one person off the bench regularly.
Canavan trying to pull off the 3-point play. Can't get it to go. Good break and transition from Dunmore. Again, the winner will take on Mount Carmel or Lancaster Catholic.
And there's Toomey again, the passing in transition. Just can handle the ball in the open floor. Has great court vision. Sets up Canavan, and she's going to the line.
And Canavan puts her first foul shot of the night in. Just 56% on the year for the junior. She has 11 points and make that 12.
They say Canavan can hit in softball. I'm sure Coach Ryan Ferguson will be happy to have her back in the lineup eventually.
In a boys game, Abington losing to Imhotep Charter 56-22 in the third as it's taken away by Dempsey over to Toledo.
Good defense there by Lehman.
Good defense by the Black Knights. Need to put some balls in the basket, Billy, for Lake Lehman.
I mean, the clock's ticking.
Yeah.
You can't exchange baskets with Dunmore. You got to get stops and then come back down on the other end and convert. Kind of tough, though, when you have a 6'4" girl with pretty big wingspan protecting the basket.
Great look inside, back out to Toledo, work it around, and they'll give it to Lewis. No good. Toomey shoots her way in.
Toomey should have went up with that. She's probably a little too unselfish there, but finds Toledo.
Toledo has 5 in the quarter. Timeout, Coach Levan. Actually, are going to be ours, too. We'll take a break. 3:57 left, 39-15. Your score.
Dempsey's Fashionable Laundry is a proud supporter of the Dunmore Bucks basketball program, a family business for over 60 years located on North Lakely Street in Dunmore, offering the lowest dry cleaning prices in the area. Good luck to the Bucks from Dempsey's Fashionable Laundry.
Bye-bye. Billy Jones, Scranton High School, huge lead for the Lady Bucks. And as we look at the other score, Billy, how about this for coincidence? Lancaster Catholic beating Mount Carmel 43-15.
Oh boy, okay.
They're in the fourth quarter, we're in the third, almost the same score. It looks like it'll be the Lady Bucks and Lancaster Catholic. Somewhere in between there. Marks Hall sounds pretty good to me.
The Mecca, as they call it.
Or it could be Bethlehem Freedom, you just never know. That'll be on Monday night, but still plenty of time here for Lehman to probably get something going. Don't want to count out Lake Lehman. Inside of Wilson. And can't get that one to go.
Great job by Wilson to stick with that, just couldn't convert.
Here comes Toledo back. Sierra Toomey, an easy 2. She has 14.
And she caught that in rhythm.
Don't know if we'd have a different score if Leah Keefe was in the game, but it definitely affected the way a little bit of Lake Lehman, the way they played, losing a senior like that.
Yeah, I mean, she's Division II Player of the Year in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Even, if they, obviously going to miss her scoring, but other things too, like leadership. It affected Lake Lehman's chemistry, and obviously they missed her from a scoring aspect as well. Lady Bucks going to her bench a little bit more. Number 4, Sophia Suma, and a junior.
Almost took it away from the freshman. Klein pulls it down, has it blocked twice by Toomey. Toledo out, no one to catch her. She's going to go in for an easy 2. And I don't think if you told me mercy rule will be in effect, we're getting close to that, Billy.
Yeah, at 30, it'll be running clock with the exception of 2-shot fouls.
So Toludo had 0 coming in to this third. She has 7. Toomey taken away.
A little bit of force there in decline.
We talked about the difference Toomey and Toludo would make in tonight's game, and definitely Toomey's made a huge difference. It's taken away. In the 2A game, quarterfinal, in the third, Faith Christian Academy's caught up to Montrose. 28-24 Lady Meteors. They had a big lead in that one. They let that slip away.
Yeah, that evaporated. We'll see if Montrose can hold on. We'll follow that.
Coming up on the minute mark here in the third quarter of this one.
When that ball goes into the high post, that zone of Lake Lehman shrinks like an accordion. Shooters are going to be wide open on the perimeter.
Jenkins got a block in there. Back over to the freshmen. Here they come. Lake Lehman, again, starving for points tonight. Haven't turned the ball over a whole lot, not like the other night, but still.
They're struggling putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
You know, they've gotten some decent touches down low, but again, you got Sierra Toomey, a big factor, not only blocking shots, but altering shots down low.
35 on the clock. Great look from Suma to Lewis.
Beautiful transition basketball, 30-point game now, Bob. We'll have the running clock.
In the fourth quarter.
Even if Lake Lehman gets it under 30, the clock will remain running, with the exception of shooting fouls.
And hopefully our media timeout, Billy.
Yes.
In the Canavan.
How about the little hook?
14 for her. She's the leading scorer. Dunmore ups their lead. Just 2 points scored for Lake Lehman in the quarter. 12 for the Lady Bucks. So it looks like they're on their way to the state semifinals in 3A.
There's a look at your Dunmore student section, embracing the beach theme here on St. Patrick's Day.
I don't get that. Beach, St. Patrick's Day, how does that correlate for a Dr. Todd Smile Camp?
I can't find an explanation or offer an explanation for that, but I will say the borough of Dunmore all fired up, 9 square miles. They're sensing the Lady Bucks moving on to the Final Four of the state, and as we spoke about, it'll more than likely be against Lancaster Catholic.
Yep. So fourth quarter underway. We'll tell you Montrose is up their lead now, mid-fourth, 36-29. We're rooting on the Lady Meteors from District 2. So we'll see what kind of subbing. I'm sure Toomey will be taken out to a big round of applause, as will Canavan and some of the other starters really soon, as we're up over that 32 mark. And the running clock, Biscotti in, no good. Brown in the game. Because you don't want Sierra Toomey hurt, God forbid.
Yeah.
And anybody hurt, so it will not last long.
Especially what she's been through over the past 12 months.
It will not last long for Carrie Toomey on the sidelines to get in the subs. Suma wide open. 19 threes on the year for Sophia Toomey. Suma, she's just a junior.
Suma had a great junior varsity season this year as a junior. They'll expect big things for her next year as a senior. She'll probably step in and replace Katie Lewis in the starting lineup.
Turnovers now starting to pile up for Lake Lehman.
And let's acknowledge the awesome season Lake Lehman had.
Absolutely, yes.
They've won 25 games. They won the division in the Wyoming Valley Conference, Division II, and then they won the postseason conference tournament, which is a mix of big schools and small schools. They beat Hazelton in the Wyoming Valley Conference tournament semi, and then beat Holy Redeemer once again in the final.
Suma trying for a second one in a row, no good, but Brown's there, right to Toomey on the other side. An easy one for Sierra Toomey.
The basketball always seems to find Jacqueline Brown, whether it's a rebound, she's on the floor, she always seems to come up with it.
So subs are at the table for both teams as we're early on in this fourth quarter, but this one not in doubt. Dunmore will be moving on to play Lancaster Catholic on Monday. And here comes Sierra Toomey out to a big round of applause.
Again, congrats from the coaching staff, her mom. So right now, Bob, you have 3 1,000-point scorers on the Dunmore bench. You have mom, Carrie Toomey, daughter Sierra, and Ashley Marie Sinceri.
Billy, where do you get this stuff from?
I have a lot of free time on my hands, Bob.
I guess so. I love it.
Now that my basketball season's over, I got tons of free time on my hands.
Let's acknowledge Lake Lehman, too. Olivia Oliver, a freshman, into the game, number 33. Catherine Morgan, a freshman, into the game, number 24.
And for the Lady Bucks, number 14, Anna Pasevich, seeing her first action of the night. That name sounds familiar, a star on the Lady Bucks volleyball team.
So Toledo took a little while. She heated up, though, now.
And also Lucy Monahan, number 35, a junior.
Yes. Klein's going to go to the foul line, but she's been scoreless all night. Great career for her as well. I mean, really put Lake Lehman back on the map last few years. The 6'1 senior, going to play soccer. 6'1 soccer player.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Lake Lehman Athletic Director Jeff Shook said that Klein is undecided as far as where she's going to college, looking to pursue a career in nursing.
So Ella Wilson comes out to a big round of applause, and I think Brenna Hunt, acknowledged from the Lake Lehman folks in the crowd here tonight, and I'm sure Klein will be next. She'll come back, and Molly Jenkins, I'm sure, will come and get Klein out.
And Wilson and Hunt will be 2 girls that Lake Lehman will rely heavily upon next year.
Get running clock now in the fourth quarter with this big lead. Brown down low, can't get it to go. Oliver with the rebound, the freshman.
Hey, and for some of these players that are reserves, you're getting playing time in a state quarterfinal game in a big venue on TV. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Glad we could bring it to you, and it worked out. We got 2 District 2 teams.
And Allie Dempsey has checked in for the Lady Bucks.
We'll take a media timeout. 3:59 left. Clock stopped. This will be the final timeout of the game. Big lead for the Lady Bucks.
Dempsey's Fashionable Laundry is a proud supporter of Dunmore Bucks basketball, a family business for over 60 years located on North Blakely Street in Dunmore, offering the lowest dry cleaning prices in the area. Good luck to the Bucks from Dempsey's Fashionable Laundry.
Well, Carrie Toomey and the assistant coaches, not much coaching right now.
They're probably making dinner plans.
Yeah.
Where they're going to have their post-game meal.
Here comes the Dunmore Bucks, people, and St. Patty's Day now can start. If it didn't start already for you.
I think they got an early start, Bob.
I think so.
The student section definitely did.
So running clock now. This one in doubt will be Lancaster Catholic and Dunmore Monday. Sites will be announced probably Sunday or tomorrow. And we'll give you another Montrose update. For the folks asking on Facebook, we appreciate you watching. Montrose is up by 40-29, another update. So it looks like they may be headed to the semifinals in the state. If we get a final before the game is over, we'll try to give it to you. Abington Heights season will come to an end. Montrose, how about this one, Billy? 14-2 run.
Wow. They responded to that.
They did.
They responded to that run by the opposition. Todd Smith probably regrouped the troops.
And a very similar score in the other 3A quarterfinal, 47-21. Lancaster Catholic that's a final. So both quarterfinal games, blowouts, which is a little shocking, especially in the PIAA. But, you know, the brackets are made ahead of time. They don't seed people. So you may have like the best game in the first round, and we've seen that. We've seen it for Dunmore. We've seen it for a lot of our local teams.
Absolutely. You just don't know how things are going to play out.
Yeah.
You know, there's no tournament committee like the NCAA men's or women's basketball tournament. You know, it goes by, you know, how you placed in your district, whether you're a district champion, runner-up, maybe even the third-place team. You might get your best matchups, like you said, in round 1, and you might get more lopsided games in the round of 8 or the round of 16.
Well, I don't think we'll have a lopsided game Monday, Dunmore-Lancaster Catholic.
No.
I definitely don't think that. That Lancaster, a lot of respect for Lancaster Catholic, hearing a lot of positive things for them. So that would be a big test for Dunmore.
Yeah, the best team out of District 2 against the best team out of District 3.
Yep. And again, Montrose moving on to the semis. That'll be on Monday.
Congratulations to Coach Todd Smith and his Lady Meteors.
And congratulations to Abington Heights. They lose, but their season comes to an end to Imhotep. Nationally ranked Imhotep, by the way.
Lucy Monahan with the basket.
She gets into the book, and we have 1:45 left in this one.
Yeah, Abington has a spectacular season. Lackawanna League Division I on the boys' side, Bob. Every single team in that division made the state tournament. How often does that happen?
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scranton, who came in last place, won District 2 in 6A and also won the sub-region. That speaks volumes of how good that division was.
How about District 4 single A girls? All 3 of their teams are in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, that's something to talk about. You know, District 4 powerhouse in the central part of the state.
It's a sub timeout. That's all it is. Clock stops quickly. They'll make some subs. Both teams, kind of a JV game in now.
That short bus ride back to the borough of Dunmore will be a happy one. Lake Lehman, you know, you have so much to be proud of. Those kids shouldn't hang their heads. They had an exceptional year, winning 25 games, a division championship, a conference tournament championship, and winning 2 games in the state tournament. Not many programs can say that.
Good luck to Scranton Prep Classics. They play tomorrow in the quarterfinals.
We had some of their teams sitting behind us.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, they left. Yep.
I spotted Rita Collins and Bella Dunham, 2 of my former students at St. Paul's.
Hey, how about them too? The boys team in the diocesan championships.
They're
going
playing
against Philly now.
Yeah, they're
tonight.
playing the diocesan champ out of Philly. Freshman Leah Conti with the hoop there.
We'll give you a Montrose final. How about that, folks? They win. They move on. 45-29. Congratulations to the Lady Meteors. Into the state semifinals.
So much, you know, so much to be proud of there in the borough of Montrose, up in Susquehanna County, the county seat.
So dominating performance right from the outset, Billy. They led 6-0 to Dunmore. Leah Keith goes down. We had a stoppage of play. And that, I don't want to say threw Lake Lehman off, but they just could not find points tonight. And Dunmore's defense was fantastic.
Yeah. They started off in zone, matched up, and, you know, they didn't allow Lake Lehman at all to get in a comfort zone offensively.
So it's an easy one for the Lady Bucks. A little bit surprising. They win 58-19. When we come back, we'll have our players of the game on the floor. We'll wrap things up from Scranton High School. Welcome back. A big win for the Lady Bucks. They move on to face Lancaster Catholic in the 3A state semifinals. That game will be Monday, but first we're going to recap this big win tonight for the Lady Bucks. Our players of the game, Tristan Kahneman and Sierra Toomey. You guys own the inside. Were you surprised at the big win tonight?
Not really. We came in very confident.
What is it about the inside? Obviously, you have a 6'4" girl, but even yourself, you dominated the boards, especially on the offensive side.
I know that Sierra always has my back. Like, even if I miss it, she got my rebound.
How fun is this ride for you guys right now?
It's very fun. It's very exciting.
Okay, now you move on. What are you thinking for Monday?
It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a very tough game.
Big support tonight, too.
Very big support. It was good.
Congratulations. Let's bring C in here. And Sierra, of course, you guys wanted this game badly because they already beat you this year. Dominating performance. A little bit surprising?
I mean, going into it, we had a good feeling. They've been playing good. Obviously, they made it to this point. But kind of just the way we've been playing lately, just getting better and better every game, we were feeling good.
How about the supporting cast around you? We talked about during the broadcast, you don't have to score 20. You have a great cast around you that can put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I mean, it relieves me a lot just with coming back at such a late time in the season. To be able to, if I'm not having a good shooting night, just be able to kick it off and know that they're going to get a bucket, especially like T here tonight. So it's a lot of fun. This is a very fun team, very fun season. Cool getting to play for my mom. But yeah, it's just very exciting.
Okay, you guys get Lancaster Catholic. They're a big game out of District 3 on Monday. How much confidence does your team have right now?
I mean, we're feeling good. Obviously, we're playing good right now, so we just gotta see who we got, and just go in there as confident as we came into this game, and we're gonna do everything we can before Monday to just show up 110%.
Congratulations, ladies. Okay, good luck on Monday. Let's bring Billy in here now to recap this one, Billy. And, you know, as we said, it was tough for Lake Lehman tonight to get the ball in the basket because of that defense. Great night, great year for the Black Knights.
Yeah, they won 25 ball games, won a division championship in the Wyoming Valley Conference, also won the postseason tournament. Exceptional year. They have a lot to be proud of, and also won 2 state playoff games.
You mentioned to me on the way down, we wouldn't have predicted this. This is a bigger win than maybe even a lot of people thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dunmore was the favorite going in, but to win in this convincing of a fashion, I don't think many people saw it coming. You know, Leah Keefe getting hurt early in the game probably had something to do with it, hurt Lake Lehman's chemistry a little bit, but can't take anything away from Dunmore. They played a great game on both ends of the floor, both offensively and defensively.
This is kind of a respect game for Dunmore, too. Remember, through the pandemic, they were headed to, like, the state semifinals when the pandemic hit in 2020. That was a very good team there. This is a very good team now.
Yeah, I think for the seniors, you know, Toomey, Lewis and company, it's, you know, the Giant Center at Hershey or bust. They want to get a state championship, and I think they're very capable of doing that.
Billy, thanks for joining us. Thanks for you for joining us here. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We forgot our green.
I know. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Go Fighting Irish.
Go Fighting Irish. Final score once again, 59-18. Dunmore with a big win here at Scranton High School. For the entire Fox 56 sports crew, this is Bob Ide for Billy Jones saying so long from Scranton High School. It's our final game of the year, and our crew did an exceptional job all season long. Good night.
Allied Services High School Hoops presented by Bathfitter.